Today I'm going to transplant out the onion seedlings into the garden. It's an overcast day, a misty rain, and so the sun's not too bright. It'd be a good time to transplant these. These are bunching onions, which can be multi-sowed, as you may be able to see in the tray. There are a number of onions all grouped together. This is a 72 cell tray, and I had about 300 seeds. So that's about 4 onion seeds per cell. This tray, one of the interesting things about being able to transplant these, this tray, this is a 72 cell tray that these are in, and they have a nice hole in the bottom. And one of the interesting parts, ways of transplanting these, is that when I'm ready to get a cell out, I simply take a nail and I poke it through the hole, and it pushes out the soil on the other side, and then it's all stuck together, and I can plant it. So I'm going to take these out to the garden, and we'll get started with this project. I'll be planting them with this dibble. This is a very old tool. This dibble belonged to my father, and before he had it, my grandfather had it, and it's beginning to wear out. The end of it's wearing off, but I'm going to weld over that and repair it and get it going. So I'm going to get this set up outside at the bed, and we'll start transplanting these, and I'll show you the process I go through. Okay, this is the bed the onions are going to go into. You'll notice there's a little straw and stuff on it. This had straw over the winter months, and so it's kind of covered. But these onions, will be planted at about 2 inches apart. You can see they've developed nice roots. They're looking good. Simply make a hole with the dibble, put them in, and press them in. I call these bunching onions, and they're sold as bunching onion. A lot of people call them spring onions, and you'll see them advertised in grocery stores as spring onions, but they're all the same thing. These came out of the soil, so we'll still plant them. You want the onions set a little deeper in the soil than what they were in the pot, because the white part of the onion is the part that's most desired. I'm using, as I mentioned earlier, a simple 8-penny nail to push these out. If you don't have that, something like a The long end of an Allen wrench will work, or a small Phillips head screwdriver. Anything that will fit through the hole in the bottom of the cell tray works equally well. Onions are a really durable plant, so you don't have to be too particular with it when you're planting them. You'll notice on top of this tray, it's covered with vermiculite. That's the way I start these small seeds, like onion seeds. I lay the seeds on top of the soil, and then I cover them with vermiculite and keep the vermiculite damp. And it makes it much easier to get the seeds started, because they can push up through the vermiculite much easier than they can through soil, topsoil, or potting soil. And onions are interesting in that they have a very, very high germination rate, usually around 95%, but the seeds don't last from year to year. Once they're you've had them buy them for this year's planting, they won't keep over into the next year. Since this is a lengthy, time-consuming process, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll go ahead and plant the rest of these, and then I'll come back and show the bed after they've been transplanted into it, and it'll shorten this video considerably, because it'll be kind of boring to watch me plant 72 cells of onion sets. So I'll get these in, and then I'll stop the video, and then we'll come back later when they're finished. Okay, got all the onions planted and all set at equal spacing, and they're ready to go. You'll notice there's a row of radishes next to where I planted the onions, but those will be done long before the onions are starting to pull. And so there are 72 cells planted throughout this bed, which will be about 300 bunching onions when they're pulled and used for salads and cooking, etc. So we're looking forward to a nice harvest. And this bed is rich with compost and organic material, which the onions love to develop their roots in, and they'll grow very healthy. So I'll clean up now, and we'll call it a day. It's raining on me as I speak, and as I mentioned, there's one row of radishes on this corner of the bed. Over here is another row of daikon radishes. If you've never grown daikon radishes, you really should. They're huge radishes. They're about 1.5 inch diameter and 10-12 inches long, and they're wonderful, wonderful radishes. So we're looking forward to the onion harvest. Okay, after all the onions are planted, I washed out the tray, and it's ready to go for next time. I've read a lot of people sanitize the trays to make sure that they're free of disease. I've never found a need to do that. I've never had a disease on them, so I've never had to worry about sanitizing them. I just wash it out with hose and water and reuse the trays, and they seem to do good. So that concludes this project of transplanting the bunching onions. Thanks. As a short bonus video, I'll show off the vegetables growing in the greenhouse. This is black-seeded Simpson lettuce in the front, and then there's some spinach behind it. And behind the spinach is some romaine lettuce. We've been having regular salads off of these, and they grow so fast. I pick the lettuce leaves about every 3 days. I do both all three, the lettuce and romaine lettuce and the spinach as a cut and come again. Planted over in the other half of this bed in the greenhouse is some kohlrabi and some Chinese cabbage. There's some Swiss chard down on the end down there. And what else is in here? Oh, there's a bok choy plant there. Actually, there's about 4 of those. These little green ones you see in the middle of the screen, those are radishes that I just had extra seeds through in there. And I've got buckets with peppers. This is a jalapeno pepper and bell pepper, and there's another jalapeno pepper over there. And I have a basket, hanging basket tomatoes growing here, which have really been producing all winter long. These are called Tumbling Tom tomatoes, and they are so productive. It's amazing the number of tomatoes that we get off of these. So that's just a short bonus of the vegetables in the greenhouse.